How about that? How about that? How about that? Everything we talk about, ill intent, violence, physicality, execution, the will to win. Just win, baby.
You are now about to witness the strength.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Whoops. That's just getting wrong right now, but yeah, but how's everybody going? Good morning and welcome to another episode of Straight Outta Nation. No Chargers, no Broncos, no Chiefs, just Raiders, baby. And right now it seems that, oh, we're getting out of the control with this right now, but oh, there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So how you feeling on this Tuesday morning, ladies and gentlemen? Because, oh, after a whole week, it was like, oh, getting like at a lot of coffee or juice, well, a lot of toast in there because we're getting almost there, not only for, well, the Thanksgiving, but also we became like in a more like a family reunion. What are the biggest months that I have to go to reunite with family and friends, which is Christmas. Yes, it is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is right. So right now, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Capitán Rafucho on YouTube. Also, you can follow me on every social media, which is Capitán Rafucho on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, because I know that's right. I know that's right now. So first and foremost, I just wanted to tell you, salute to everybody else. So let's see what are the comments before it gets started. Peña says, Saludo Rafael, buenos días. Good morning to you, top of the morning. Also, Grandizer 12 will say, Oye, Capitán Rafucho, buenos días. Good morning, Tuesday morning with coffee. Yep, it never fails. It never fails, everybody. It never fails. So let's get right now with the first topic, shall we? We got the winners and the losers for that game between Las Vegas Raiders versus Denver Broncos. And believe me or not, that was just like an awful sweat. But yeah, the Tankathon is still get it, but who knows? All right, so the first winner, the running back Dylan Love. Now, prove me wrong about this because everybody thought that Dylan Love could be like a great breakthrough player, but it seems that, well, I was just kind of missed it wrong. Yep, I was just occasionally wrong because I know that's something that I was very not very sure at all to kept them both at like the 11. But I know the Raiders were very down for like 3-0 early, but they just received the shot of adrenaline thanks to the rookie running back, Dylan Love. I mean, his 59-yard kickoff gave her like the Las Vegas on the field position, and ultimately it resulted in a touchdown. And he was active doing the injuries to the running back along with Samir White and Allison Madison. He took out a lot of advantage, but he helped everyone that forget the first carry in the NFL, which is like a few weeks ago, which resulted in the fumble. Also, there's another winner coming through, Amir Abdullah with a touchdown, because he just caught it. Passed for the second week into the row because he was being like at a cover by a linebacker, and he was like when mutuality like offered this game, and well, he threw like it to Abdullah Arms for his 6 points. I mean, the touchdown would finish with Lop started with this return. They gave like a 7-3 lead. There's like another running back, first year pro, which is Sincere McCormick. Now, they don't want to put me on rounded about this because some of the players are good, some of the players are bad, but there was like an honorable mention, Sincere McCormick. And I know that, well, some person that had to see Amir Abdullah, Samir White, Sincere are the coolest, but yeah, that's not very good enough. But I know he's got the first action, and he actually led for the Raiders, rushing them 5 carries for 33 yards. I mean, between for the new offensive coordinator, Scott Turner, he missed like an opportunity to give like McCormick the ball more. He looked fantastic running between the tackles and should get more carries for the offense next week. So probably they should. Also, there's another couple of winners coming on through, which is the kick punter and the linebacker, AJ Cole and Devon Diablo. Now, not only did they just stand for a lead like 10-6 from the second quarter, but not before the gutsy goal with the special teams payoff, but of course the kick punter AJ Cole, through the linebacker Devon Diablo was wide open for like 34-yard game, and he just converted like a field goal to the drive. But who knows? I mean, the kicker between for Daniel Carson, they never miss. They never disappoint. Also, there's another winner coming through, Tyree Wilson. Yeah, I know that he just made like an impact from the game, not just on the quarterback sack, to tackle for a loss and the quarterback hit. It was Wilson's third sack of the season, and it was coming up for the last 4 contests, including for the last week. Because for us, has been going terribly. But if Wilson can start living off for like the first round draft status, that would be like a huge win for Las Vegas. That could be anything at all. And also, there was like a couple winners coming up through. Not only because Brock Bowers, they just broke the record for like most in the rookie season for a tight end. And he was still like the best at a tight end. And of course, Max Crosby, they just broke another record. 100 tackles for this history of the season. 100 tackles. And he just beat like everything. So that's what I just said. Max Crosby is still the GOAT. And we're going to take that. Yep. We're going to take that. And for the record, there are some losers coming out there in the game between Las Vegas Raiders versus Denver Broncos, the round number 2. First and foremost, the first loser that I wanted to mention is none other than Gardner Minshew. Yep. So it became like another flashback for the first loss of the season, but he turned out like the ball over. It just seemed like Las Vegas was taking over control, but it wasn't that too drastic that it seems like the prime going ahead like 17-3 before like interception, but it was like not that very close enough. But the defense had to stop it at the Broncos' first possession of the third quarter, and they just sent like a 1 over for the head of the Myers. And adding injury to insult, which is probably they just broke his collarbone later in the game, and he's out for the season. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a drill. He was out for the season. Yep. Also, there is another loser coming up there, which is the pick six, Jack Jones. Now, he He shared good moments, including like a tackle for loss, a pass defended, but he fell like a victim to Cortland Sutton for the Denver Broncos early into the game. But he took like a lead for a good over the third quarter after mentioning interception, and they just call it the Sutton Cortland special. Obviously, John Johnson makes like a good miss. Running backs, the secondary and the cornerbacks, Nick Hobbs and the Jacorian Bennett, who both are inactive due to injury. Yep, it just makes like a disappointment now. And also, not only he was talking about like the winners and the losers, but also I was talking about like Brock Bowers. But that was like after his best performance as a rookie because he nailed it as the first year as a rookie as a tight end because that just really brought back. But really fall out to the end of the injury piles and like shortcomings will life difficult until the season roughly ends. Because right now they just wanted to tell it's over. Because they always wanted to try to push it up the cheese limit for the next week, which is the Black Friday after the Thanksgiving. Because they wanted to they just call like it a 4 to 10 targets for 33 yards. But it seems that it can be like a really impossible at all. It can't be. So whatever it takes for everything, I mean, there's nothing to complain, but it seems that they had the same old issues. They had the same problems for the defense. And I know they have a lot of great plays along with the new coordinator, Scott Turner, but it seems that it doesn't have like the same chemistry that I just got it. Yep. Those wanted to say when they got it. They don't want to see it. And after that, I was talking about like the winners and the losers. So right now, the next week is going to be really complicated for the round number 2. Because after the round number 2 against them Broncos, now we have to do against Kansas City Chiefs on Black Friday. Even I know that, well, after the whole situation on Christmas Day, which is probably they're going to do after it, yep. Yeah, I just got to change the color. So, yes. And maybe it's going to be like a really, not enough for this one, but they might be getting the start of it again to everything. Yep. If they wanted to start like really great at all, when they're going to make it at all? I mean, they're just getting over. They're just getting over for this one. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a next topic coming up through. So I know there's like a lot of fans or other teams will, I don't know, they're going to like it. Probably not. Daniel Jones to the Raiders. Now, what I just wanted to tell her about is why the heck is Daniel Jones here? Well, here's the thing. Young quarterbacks are capable to leading their teams to the championship for the contracts. So it's very clear that having like a rookie quarterback provides an advantage for the salary cap, general manager. It don't value more having a long-term security at the position. But we've been learned about since the Raiders moved from Card is that the people have no idea what the quarterback contracts still look like. Salaries has been going up, but the numbers look very high, but that's the market. That's the market. And after Derek Carr was gone, I mean, the cap hit was under like 35 million for almost a year. Even I don't love Derek Carr, but I don't know. Would you rather like to have like Jimmy Garoppolo or Gardner Minshew for less? How fucking stupid is that? Because they don't have any lucky to get anything back for releasing a better quarterback, and they have under contract. And yes, I mean, certainly Morons, they have signed for have a bunch of money to like sign over the free agent defense and offer more for everything. Yep. But between for that, I mean, there's some person that say that Daniel Jones could be a perfect fit for the Raiders. But here's the thing. I know that New York Giants parted ways with Daniel Jones because he actually sucked. Because if Daniel Jones could have drafted for another team, that would be different. If Josh Allen could have drafted at the New York Giants back in 2019, the situation will be different at all. Yep, the situation could be anything at all. But here's the thing. I mean, we continue to lose critical players every week, every season. After the whole disaster of Jimmy Garoppolo and after the whole Garden issue, it gives like a glimpse of deja vu, but they just spark the speculation on how the Raiders are going to move forward for the quarterback. But after that, I just saw the news between Daniel Jones getting released by New York Giants. I mean, they just wanted to call it out there. They just wanted to call it. But I don't think it's going to be like the safe answer to all about it. But has been thrown 7 touchdowns compared to 44 interceptions throughout a 6-year career. While the interesting is going to be, that doesn't mean it's a good idea. But I don't think they're going to work on itself in much different it's going to offer in New York. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing I like this one, ladies and gentlemen. Because Las Vegas Raiders and New York Giants, they had something in common. They had the worst rosters at the NFL, especially at the because for us, we have skilled players, might sadly better than the Giants. That's not a much difference between the two. Because Daniel Jones didn't ask for the Giants to release him into a similar situation with another team. Because he would like to prove he was not the problem in New York. Going to it like it's bad as a record roster-wise doesn't make sense for the veteran quarterback. I mean, the problem is between for like the combination of Daniel Jones and the coaching team, it seems that, well, Brian the Ball is the problem to coaching Daniel Jones and the whole defense, along with Wendell Robinson, Malik Neighbors, Tyrone Taylor Jr., and then Daniel Jones got benched and got brought in for Tommy DeVito, as known as Tommy Cutlets. But signing off Daniel Jones, I mean, that's not a great thing. That's not a great thing because I don't say that following the loss of the Broncos, I mean, Desmond Ridder was a not legitimate option to start Friday against the Kansas City Chiefs. If Raiders not ready to start after having a bye week off, I mean, Jones will likely learn enough of the offense quickly enough to get a quality look. I mean, I know that some people that say, "Oh, Daniel Jones is very worst," but it's not that very worse for any of the quarterbacks on the Rodgers roster. I mean, signing the Jones will be like something weird, something stupid, but this just stays far away from John Jones. They just stay away from John Jones for Daniel. Everything. Because you know what? During for that career with his New York Giants, I mean, they had the worst contract ever on the league. Because he just signed like a 4-year, $160 million contract for this offseason. Because, well, even though there's still haters coming up through, I mean, there's nothing I have to get into about it. There's nothing. Granted that I say, I agree with you. Daniel Jones will be a waste of money. Use that money to most pressing needs. Some soccer team will overpay for Daniel Jones. I mean, there's another teams going to be interested for. There's the Carolina Panthers because they always get sucked by Bryce Young. And you know what? I think that I just want to about it. I'll forget about Borg extension. How about forget about it? Because other is a big match for like a corrupt, but between for the extension, it was like the bouncing Betty of this functional locker room back in 2018 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Also, Urban Murray was a jerk. Tom Bentley wasn't much of a jerk. They advertised like free agents not to sign with the franchise. I mean, they blow up away. They blow up away for this one. I mean, this came like the worst things at all. worst things. And everybody's told that, oh, there's like a soft pants, well, soft fans going out for like a defend Daniel Jones, but it seems that it's not a decent guy, not a backup, but they don't want it to get like starting as the quarterback because if they want to move on, they don't want to remove like the run to him because especially in the country they say it's very awful at all because the problem is ignoring this injury story, it make it worst because the games move slightly too fast for him. I mean, they have an ability to keep his eyes downfield, an ability to improvise out of the pocket. If a play breaks down, which is going to happen a lot for the whole line, was running or a sack. Because at the attempt to remedy issues with fumbling has made like the worst. It is internal life goes off so quick that the ball is getting stripped. Because the play cannot do the ball, but the clock is that quick. I mean, the pocket princess has not been improved. He's still mediocre. He cannot step up and make a throw with his eyes were not downfield. Because Giant fans, they wants to get rid of a quarterback because they're not making any worse. They're not making like some great plays. And I understand as a fan, as a content creator, because both teams like New York Giants and Las Vegas Raiders, they have the worst. They have the worst play calling and coaching. And most of the fans, they just wanted to move on to some of the quarterbacks because the difference between Daniel Jones and Gardner Minshew, they're both trash. Bad accuracy, bad speed, and of course, they didn't improve because they cannot break a game with a talent. He cannot carry the team but elevate the play of others. What I wanted to do about it, because both teams, they need a leader of men. And I know the Giants could be like a breaking the mold because they just wanted to look like the next big thing. And some of the fans that just wanted to come back, Bill Belichick. Also, there's John Gruden was there, Mike Rabel. I mean, they want the leader to prove themselves that had to win the championship. But whatever happens after this one, because I know that Dan Campbell, he became very successful with the Detroit Lions. So what happened with the blueprint? Some of the NFL players, former NFL players, doesn't have the same lucky. I mean, look at his career of Antonio Pierce. I mean, after Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler got booted out, I mean, Antonio Pierce became like something realistic. They just wanted to get in there as a playoff team. But we came short after we just lost against Indianapolis Colts. But it seems that the first season as the official head coach, it doesn't have like the same lucky that I just got it. But it doesn't have like anything could happen. Because look, I know there are some Giant fans that don't want to see Daniel Jones another season because they don't want to believe that. Because it was like another error of the franchise. Because there is no clue why did it came like a franchise contract, but it's obvious that the door is closed and moving forward. Because were you more surprised to go to watch like your franchise quarterback that it goes wrong? I mean, it's getting infuriated at all. But it doesn't seem like anything could happen enough. I mean, that's enough. That's enough. So I understand that Daniel Jones, it now became like the answer, but that's a big no for me. That's a big no. Because I know that some of the teams that are interested, send him out to the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Carolina Panthers, which in fact, he was born in North Carolina. That should be a backup quarterback for the Carolina Panthers along with Bryce Young or maybe the Red Hat. Probably. But if you want to see that about it, because look, after he was released, because he was disagreed, because I was reading out the article, and he would disagree that the decision should ban him and since he wants to play. But I know he gave like team everything. He was taking like sits overall, it is still he has a future in the NFL. But as a matter of fact, I mean, Daniel Jones' career it became like something, a recipe for disaster. Like I said it, folks. Like I said it. If Josh Allen could have drafted and the New York Giants back in 2019 instead of Daniel Jones, the situation will be different. The situation will be different at all. But I was saying this one, Daniel Jones, it's not the answer to go to the Raiders. I believe that there is a huge no for Daniel Jones. Okay? That's a big no. A no for Daniel Jones. So let it trade to the Carolina Panthers or Jacksonville Jaguars along with Trevor Lawrence. It will help. It will help it at all. But for the Raiders, nah, this is not gonna be like a big no. So there you go, folks. All right. So after that, I was talking about like Daniel Jones going to the Raiders, which is a huge no. There are 7 losses in a row. It is time to give up. Well, I understand that they're still going at the tankathon, but you know, I'm not a big fan of those teams who wants to tank for a quarterback. But 7 losses in a row, I mean, that's a huge penny attack. Huge at all. But I understand that if we had enough time to see what's wrong about it for the team, I mean, that's all. I mean, before the season coming out through, I mean, there's like a lot of high expectations, but I haven't seen like a lot of fans going out there with a lot of hype, everything. But it seems that, well, doesn't it have like anything could happen at this one? Probably, but between for the coaching, the team, the offensive, the defensive, I mean, they still got a lot of issues coming up there. But I understand that the biggest mistake was hiring Luke Getsy. Yep, they're still gonna win this one because would come to like adhere to berate each other in souls or even like each other for this one, because now that I just see it, because remember we just went like 2-2 because some persons they have it a change for the creatures yearning for the high trap, but it's still like there wasn't enough of that just win baby that just left the collect to the herd, but we lost to donkeys. Yeah, the Denver Broncos. Instead of like the debating play-up seeding, right now we're debating like the merits of Cam Ward versus Shedeur Sanders or Jones versus Darnold, and they never heard the mention of Aaron Rodgers. But I know that some of those teams that just make like very successful because some of those rebuilding, it doesn't take like a 1 day ago or 2 days. It takes for a month. But I think that the committed to excellence, it became something just like a nightmare. Because after that, I just saw between for like the losers coming up there, I mean, they just became something like awful. And it's inevitable that sometimes in the future that will turn, not be like it this year or even a decade, but I mean, they still have a lot of expectations, but it came something lower. I mean, we love that team. I love my team, which is the Raiders. And I will never trade. But most of the hope is gone because I know that, well, even though that I'm a Raider fan, I'm still getting involved with a lot of, well, football news, also with the breakdowns. But I understand that some content creators that they make something like great content, and I will listen to them. But I mean, it's something that I was like didn't want to do about it. I mean, it's something became like it's something became like a nightmare to everything. I mean, it was nice to see to see that they got it. I mean, it's not really focused at all. But we should kill. But I mean, they have a big lid this one. But look at the draft order. I mean, is it gonna be like at a time to moving on or something else? Probably yes, probably not. Because look at the draft order we just got it right now. First place, they just got Jacksonville Jaguars. Also, they got the second place, the New York Giants. In third place, we have, for us, Las Vegas Raiders. Fourth place, New England. 5, Carolina. 6, Tennessee. 7, New York Giants. Well, the Jets. The number 8, Cleveland. Number 9, New Orleans. Number 10, Cincinnati Bengals. Number 11, Dallas Cowboys. And number 12, Chicago Bears. But it seems that I don't want to team to the tank at a new quarterback, but it seems that if we want to continue to build, I mean, let just really happen. Let just really happen for all. I mean, there's not to have to go to the complaint and everything, and well, that just became like something, well, unpredictable. Yep, unpredictable, ladies and gentlemen. Unpredictable. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, so after that, I was talking about like 7 losers in a row. I don't think it's gonna be like at a time to give up, but it thinks like at a time to moving on, staying focused, and everything. So right now, after that, I was talking about. Well, there's one thing that I would love to talk about it: the hardball ball between for Los Angeles Chargers versus Baltimore Ravens. Now, this one is going to be really interesting because I know that the podcast is say only Raiders, but as a matter of fact, we're going to talk about like a little bit of the rival teams of the NFL. And this time we could talk about like the hardball ball between Ravens versus Chargers. Now, if you see like the most important at all, because if you guys watched the football season between for like 2012, 2013, now you got between John versus Jim Harbaugh for the Super Bowl. Because remember this one, John Harbaugh was the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, and then Jim Harbaugh was the head coach for the San Francisco 49ers before I get into the Michigan. But it was like the 2 games, which is between Ray Lewis and Randy Moss, because that was like the first Super Bowl where 2 brothers coaching against others since Bears and Colts. But at this time, I mean, they're gonna be like a brotherly love, and they give like another jump victory, because I know between for like 2 brothers, it became so much important because he literally covered in his hands to putting off for like air mobs. But funny isn't very wicked at all to like the hype of Harbaugh ball between Baltimore Ravens versus Los Angeles Chargers. But another Raven coach had to need like his own device, and he took like very interesting to focus on the task in the hands. I mean, despite for the like the love and respect for like to each other, I mean, there is no backing off, there is no simply sympathy. I mean, they're gonna be like easily go for the playoffs in the couple months. They're like a fully invested at the moment. And that's why the Baltimore Ravens he became so successful, not only with the coach, but also with a great elite quarterback, tight end, which is Mark Andrews, and of course a group of wide receivers, running back, offensive. I mean, they just brought like they bring it back like the old school Baltimore Ravens 2000 decade. I mean, if you see like, well, if you see Shannon Sharp, Tony Saragusa, also there's Ray Lewis. I mean, if you can mention all about that. But neither was gonna put out of the glass. Because if you don't know what happened about for that game to find an outcome, because it will be like really hard which brother won and which brother lost. Because John has won all 3 games coaching against his brother, including a Super Bowl victory, and the quarterback Peyton Manning was 3-0 against his younger brother Eli. And all this ball with the matchups with the cushion of her parents, Arjun and Olivia. Yep. Because I know the Ravens improved like 8-4 for the win, given like the better record. And it was like significant layoff for the race of the postseason. I mean, there's no gloating about that. Because I understand that Jim Harbaugh agreed for the plan for the comes that against for the Baltimore Ravens. But it seems that between for the Harbaugh ball, I mean, that would be like something special. I mean, there's like more chances at all because it's been like over 12 years after the Super Bowls. And I understand that the Harbaugh bug is more like get interesting to do it. Yep. It was just like give it like a great advice to get used to it. Oh, hold on a minute. Yeah, I just saw for like the message coming up there. Yeah, I just saw for the message. Hey, how's it going, Afakasi Raiders? Salute to you. I hope you're doing good in Bali. Yeah, because I just saw one of the live streams of going like a shop hunting in Bali, which is very interesting. And I love that it's hats and, well, including for the Raiders. If you do me like a favor, just like a Christmas gift, can I get like a Raiders hat and beige? I would love to. But salute to you, Afakasi Raider. I hope you're doing great. And well, speaking about like the Harbaugh ball, I mean, between for like Justin Herbert versus Lamar Jackson. I mean, those guys have been through a lot for this one. And between for like standing corporations, between for like Herbert, Lamar Jackson, I mean, they just can't like out of the control of its production. I mean, they showed down. I mean, who's gonna be like the crushing it? And speaking like everything, because the only thing that about like the Ravens offense about himself, but when you give like a Lamar Jackson, give like early down opportunities, they're basically unstoppable. But especially they're not doing like this one. They're not doing this one. But also there's between for like comparison between Justin Herbert in the same production under the last season. But that was like a fluke. And he wasn't protected for like the future success, but also the lack of the production of the first and second down, cannot do for play calling. They know they didn't work in much of those downs. But between for like the work between for like the offensive coach and of course the combination between like the wide receiver like McCowney, also Khalil Mack, Justin Herbert, it became like something really important that no one could really unexpected about it. No one. I mean, that just wanted to pull enough of the trigger and how there were the analysis would it come like the first and second down, the more protective about the performance overall for the season. I mean, putting down for the point spread. With Herbert and the Chargers, they playing out of the minds on the third down. The Ravens are no sure at all. But the more reliable teams don't excel on late downs, they just wanted to avoid entirely to everything. And I know they're crushing it. They are crushing it and they have like the farthest version at all. I mean, it's been a massive for the program. I mean, obviously, the real help is such a feel like there's like a physical shift around for the team because more competitive. Because it seems that between Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson, they both lived in the edge between for the gunslinger comeback wins and down for the wire games. Because taking it off of the look specters, originally we like to respect it at all. But I know between for the comparison of Tom Brady and Adam Rodgers are very clutch. But for now in that season, I mean, I think that Lamar and Justin Herbert, they have like the best in the crunch time. I mean, like they have like ice water in their beans and they love the pressure. But it really helps that they have two coaches between for like the Harbaugh brothers. And they have confidence and trust. And there is no big issue at all. No big issue because it's just like a not that very small sample size, but they're getting like an early down for success when it comes to the passing at all. And I would love to do something about like that. Alpha Cassidy ready to say yeah, man, I'll to try to do a part 2 in the next few days. I brought one of the beige. Did you see? Yeah, I just see for the beige right now. So that'll be like the perfect gift for my Christmas. Yeah, that'll be like it was something that I was like, yeah, I would love to. So when you do look at the part 2 of that trip, that that shop hunting on Bali, I mean, I would love to buy one of those, yeah, one of those red hats, whether it comes to black, silver, white, or even on beige. But that would be perfect as a gift for Christmas, probably, probably. But you know what? I mean, they just have like the biggest toughening up. And what's so very interesting about it, between for the Harbaugh Ball, I mean, if you guys saw, because well, during the time I was in college, back in 2013, I was doing in college. But what has happened to this one? I mean, if you guys know about this, the Super Bowl between Baltimore Ravens versus San Francisco 49ers, between for the brothers of Harbaugh, before Jason Kells versus Travis Kells, which is 2023 on Super Bowl between Philadelphia Eagles versus Kansas City Chiefs, there was a Harbaugh brothers coaching in different teams, Baltimore Ravens and San Francisco 49ers. And you know what? The Super Bowl number 47 was an instant classic. Instant classic. Because that was like the first time that two head coaches are brothers. And they're out to the square off of the biggest stage. Yep. Because what it means like an historic element for like two brothers squaring off for like the leading off of the game, I mean, the family affair doesn't tell the start between Jim and John Harbaugh. Yeah. But who won it all? John Harbaugh for the Baltimore Ravens. Because they're really probably reason, because that was like the fact that it was like not only it was the Harbaugh ball, but it was like the blackout. Because finally like the quick return for like the second half, because there was like a partial power average of the Mercedes Superdome, which is exactly like the Nets venue for this Super Bowl. Suspended for like almost about half of an hour. But both teams had to go for it. Both teams had to go. And what it was said of the face-off of the between for the Monday Night Football, I mean, they just wanted to know that they wanted to impress about like the success, the defense, and of course, they just wanted to prove themselves why those battle of the brothers became so much important in the NFL story. Because not only about like Ravens versus Chargers, but it became like the duo of the Harbaugh brothers. But also, if you saw between like Jason Kells with the Philadelphia Eagles before his retirement and versus Travis Kelce with the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 2023. So they became something really different at all. And to be honest, right now, it seems that everyone just wanted to talk about like how the family affair, it became so much important, not only for the college football, but also the NFL. And we just saw like between for like Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, because well, before I didn't know it, it's because Peyton Manning was a player for the Denver Broncos and Eli Manning was for the New York Giants. So that became like something incredible that no one can feel, that no one can really undeniable for the see where they got. Yep. And that's sort of the point about it. That's a really point. That's what I just wanted to need. Like the whole history of the NFL became so much perfect at all. And right now, I just wanted to talk about like the last thoughts. Yep, the last thoughts between for the Straight Outta Nation on this Tailgate Tuesday morning. Doing a look at a review between Raiders versus Broncos, and of course a little bit of the NFL. So you gotta check this out, folks. And shout out to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network who gave like the opportunity to this Capitan to prove Spanish play-by-play in some Raiders games. And well, believe me or not, because over the last week, I didn't provide Spanish play-by-play between over the last two Raider games during for family reunions because this week is Thanksgiving. And I had to prepare for the family dinner on Thursday and everything. Yep, that would be like something interesting. And I really understand that. Well, living in the United States and America, I really understand about like the culture of the Thanksgiving is having like family reunion. Also great food. Also to give thanks to everything. Yep. Something like that. But I understand between from the culture that I was living in the United States, it became so much different. And for me, as a Venezuelan citizen living in the United States, I really understand about like the culture of the Thanksgiving. And I know it means, well, eating turkey, watching football season, watching the parade, and of course, having like a great family reunion along with family and friends. And speaking about like friends, friends are really helpful for everything. I mean, if you need something when you're alone, the family is there. Because I really understand that some friends gonna help you because some friends are good, some friends are bad, but there are some good friends who really support you no matter what. And of course, the family is very important because, like I said, folks, I'm not gonna stream like 24/7 because I know that I have my family duties, also with the work. Yep, kind of understandable, but yes, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. So I'm not gonna criticize for everything. And look, I know this is gonna be like something important, to be honest. And once again, and shout out to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. And I really understand that Las Vegas Raiders and New York Giants have very something in common. We have worse quarterbacks, worse play calling. There was a lot of difference coming up there. And some of those fans they just wanted to get rid of the quarterback. They just wanted to tank for a quarterback. That's exactly the same point. Because I understand that some commentaries, some social media comments, they just wanted to tank for the quarterback. For example, Las Vegas Raiders, they just wanted to tank a quarterback for Shador Sanders or Cam Ward. But in New York Giants comments on social media, they just wanted to tank for Shador Sanders or maybe Travis Hunter or another play for college football that became something important. Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. Yep, from LSU. But as a matter of fact, there's always had to do like between for like the play calling because I'm not gonna try to talk about like the Giants because I know the both teams we had the same common. We've been living a disaster coming up for years. Because look, between for Gardner Minshew and Antonio Pierce, it doesn't seem like a great combination. And the New York Giants, they got Brian DeBall, Mara, and of course Daniel Jones. It's not a perfect combination. So it's not gonna really happen at all. And for the record, I just wanted to tell you that, well, even though that this weekend is gonna be really important. So I just wanted to tell you, happy Thanksgiving for all the American watchers, for all the American people that follow me on every social media. And I know that I understand about like the language, the culture, and everything. So I just wanted to tell you, happy Thanksgiving to all. And of course, I got something in the schedule coming up there because tonight at 10:30 p.m. I gotta do like a special Thanksgiving special, well, a special pre-Thanksgiving episode of the Combat Club, not only reviewing the UFC Fight Night on Macau, China, but also, well, the ANEW Full Year 2024 and a preview for the Survivor Series 2024, which is in Canada. And I know that, well, the Mr. Mets is going out there at the WrestleCon on Winston-Salem, which is exactly this week for the Survivor Series. But unfortunately, for me, I can go for that WrestleCon because, I mean, I have plans for taking care of my family. Yep, I had to take care of my family, preparing the food. I mean, there are some family and friends coming out there into the house to celebrate the Thanksgiving week. I mean, it really happened. So maybe I can do like a Survivor Series live stream, watch reactions and everything. But you know, it all depends on it all. Also, but I just wanted to tell you, thanks for joining us for this Tailgate Tuesday morning during the review between Raiders versus Broncos, talking about Daniel Jones, the Harbor Bowl, which is a little bit of the NFL. Also, 7 losses in a row because next week we got the Black Friday coming up there from the round number 2. Las Vegas Raiders versus Kansas City Chiefs, and between for like this Thursday of the NFL. Boy, this is gonna be so incredible because they have 3 games coming up there on Thursday. Yep, on Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, because first they got the Chicago Bears versus Detroit Lions, should be an interesting one. Also, they got the Giants versus Dallas Cowboys. Yep, another interesting one. And last but not least, they got the Miami Dolphins versus the Green Bay Packers. 3 games on Thanksgiving Thursday and for the Black Friday they just got for us. Las Vegas Raiders versus Kansas City Chiefs. So, without further, thanks for joining us to this episode of Straight Outta Nation. I will see you there tonight at 10:30 p.m. And of course, happy Thanksgiving week for all in America. And God bless America. So have a great one. Have a great morning. Have a great Tuesday. And I will see you there probably later on this night along with the Combat Club. But I will definitely I'm gonna try if I have the guts to make up some live reactions, some interviews on the street that I just got. So yeah. And I just wanted to tell you, have a great morning, and of course, I will see you there next time. Bye bye.